want to mention this. I saw a lot of Toronto Maple Leafs jersey in here. Shot. There we go. Yeah. If anybody wants to do before the show's over, we can easily get a Go Leafs Go chant going today.
We already established yesterday that the Jets are the cheat team.
Yes.
Correct?
We're on board with the Jets, but we were on the Leafs yesterday, the Winnipeg Jets, and I was on the New York Jets to cover. I got smoked in Winnipeg last night.
Yeah.
You had a tough day. You had a tough night.
I had a very tough night. And you know what I should have done? Because what I have picked up on from being in Winnipeg for 30 hours now, they love slot machines in this town.
Oh.
There are slot machines
everywhere
in schools in Winnipeg. Everywhere you go. I'm walking into convenience stores, slot machine. We're going for restaurants. Like, it's everywhere in Winnipeg.
It is.
And I should have doubled down because I had such a tough night. I should have hammered the slots last night.
Why didn't we come here at 1 o'clock p.m. and hammer the slots over there?
We could have been sitting in that corner right there.
There's literally slots 20 feet from us right now.
Now, is that what they're called? Is that the traditional? They're called slots?
Slot machines.
Man, oh, man.
It is some form of machine where you put money in and you gamble. It's a slot machine.
Yeah, but it's not like coin operated.
I believe well, it might be card operated now. I mean, technology has improved.
It's tap and cash, man. That's.
But they love a slot machine in the Peg, man.
Everywhere.
They love it. It's everywhere, and I appreciate it greatly because it can get you out of a jam.
Exactly.
And I think I'm probably going to do that. Maybe in the first break, I'm going to go hammer a slot.
You should double down.
I'll double down and hit the slot machines. But yeah, I got to think Craig Berube is dead last on the mood meter because last night the Leafs got a point. They're up 2-0. They had a decent first period. The second and third period, they got absolutely caved in again. And the shot attempts were. There was so much disparity.
Are we morphing towards doing analytics on the show now? Are we doing that?
Well, I think it just hammers home exactly what everyone's seeing. It's an eye test with a little analytics. I mean, shot attempts are not really that deep, dude. It's not like we're getting crazy with analytics. It's just pointing out that the Leafs were on their heels basically all night.
Right.
And when you look at that game, you look at the Carolina game a few days ago, it's foreign territory. Like, what it has given me an appreciation for is, like, the last 9 years were pretty easy. Right. You know, during the regular season. I get the playoffs, different story. But I'm getting this, like, nostalgic kind of feeling of 10 years ago when we used to do the show. When we started back in 2010, 2011, 2012, and they were terrible.
Blue lunch.
Yes, and it was very difficult to watch every single night. And the reality is they just don't have enough guys that are scaring the opposition. They don't have enough guys that are playing well. They give up more goals than any team in the league. They've got injuries. Like, yet they're 8-2, glass half full. It's November, and they're only a few points out of the playoffs.
I was looking at the standings, and they are 4 points out of first place in the division, so a week-long stretch could change everything. But what's concerning is you're just talking about how they look. They kind of look like Pittsburgh has the last couple years, where they got some good players, some high-end talent, and ultimately they stink. They get blown out a lot of nights, poor goaltending, and just everything looks like they're getting dominated every night on the ice. That's what Pittsburgh has looked like the last couple of years. And that's what they look like right now.
Pittsburgh had cup rings and banners that they can look back on. That's the problem. The Leafs don't have that.
The cupboards are bare in Pittsburgh because they went in on every deadline, getting players. But you said, go deep in the playoffs, they win, all of that type of stuff. You look at it right now, in Toronto, it's a little bit different of a narrative, right? Because if Brad Treliving wants to make some moves, it's not like he's got a ton of capital to work with in the minors, draft picks, all of that.
It's zero. It's zero.
Well, it's close to zero. You can be creative. You do have Easton Cowan. You got Ben Danford. You have your first pick in 2028, which seems like a lifetime away.
They better not trade that pick. Like, they better not trade that pick. I'm going to make a plea to Brad Treliving from Winnipeg.
You told me this when you were being miserable in the lobby about an hour ago.
Yeah, it was miserable.
I'm getting it together now that we're on the air. I'm happy. The slot machine's 10 feet away.
I was worried about you all morning.
I know. I've been in a dark place out here.
Yeah.
Give it, I'd say, let's say a bold number, okay? 30 games. That would be 12 more games for the Leafs.
Okay.
Don't do anything for 12 games because over the next 12, what you're going to get is Wall back and activated.
Yep.
Stolarz will return. You'll get your tandem going. I think Matthews will return. 12 more games to see if they can get out of this.
Right.
Because if you start making moves now, thinking we got to go get this guy or that guy, if they keep playing like this, it may just be an off year for them. It may be a retool season where you've got to adjust on the fly. And I'm not saying I know that Treliving's going to do it. I'm sure he's making calls. Everyone is. I'm sure he's concerned about the way his team's playing.
Sure.
He should be. But I don't jump in and start trading first 3 years down the road and the prospects that you do have for someone right now that might improve you in a slight manner, but not enough to get you over the top. And give it 12 more games.
And a side note for all the people on Twitter that think Rasmus Andersson in Calgary is going to drastically change your organization or what's going on the ice, he's not a bad defenseman. He's a pretty good defenseman.
Not Cale Makar, though.
Thank you very much.
Cale Makar.
Thank you very much.
You're right. The thing is we have the right as fans and in the media, we live it every day. As in the manager's seat, he's got to take emotion out of this. So he can be pissed off, but he can't make a knee-jerk reaction that has ramifications down the road. Joe from the Bridge can make ridiculous trades from his couch in his mind and go, why don't you just trade for McDavid and then give a seventh round?
Of course.
That'll, they'll make that happen. You can't do that. If you're tree living, you've got to be methodical. And you're not going to trade from a place of, we'll call it weakness, where, you identify, this is what I need. The team that you're trading with knows that you want that player, and they ask for a king's ransom. So the teams that are, we'll call it at the bottom, that have players to trade, they have the luxury of time.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, Noodles. Again, because of their history, the last 9 years being a perennial playoff team,
right?
They are still viewed upon as that level of, competitor.
Right now, they're not.
But that's my point. Like, in reality, there's a chance there's GMs calling tree living saying, we'll make a trade for that player, like, because you're terrible right now. Like, I don't know if that's happening. And what I'm saying is in 12 games, if they go 4-8, it probably should. Like, it probably should. If you realize you're just not going to have a year, you've got to find a way to get a farm system going, get some picks back, get some flexibility, and possibly readjust. Like, they've made it to the playoffs 9 straight years. That's longer than any team in the league.
I know, but what you just said, Hayes, like getting a farm system going and getting picks back, that's not over.
That takes time.
Dude,
and it takes
that's
patience.
not one trade deadline or a 2-week thing. That is.
And it takes courage, and it takes. You're going to have to sell it upstairs, and Keith Pelly's going to be involved and all that.
There's a lot of.
I'm not, again, we're not there yet, but like watching them play, forget wins and losses. Like, they are getting caved in every night. Like, it's very concerning to watch them play. We found the game last night, right? We were all over Winnipeg looking for the Leaf game. We found it, and the Habs were getting blown up. We probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But they were not in a great place.
That
last
other
night.
team,
That's 4 losses in a row.
Yeah, the other team a couple hours away. I flipped that on when I got home too. The Edmonton Oilers. They're doing a lot of things similar. They're
doing some funky stuff.
They're doing some funky stuff, man.
It's
and
funny.
they've got McDavid and Draisaitl that go out there and do whatever they want, and they're unbelievable. And then when they leave the ice, it's like, what are you guys doing out there? Goals happening all over the place against.
My concern when it comes to Toronto compared to Edmonton is Edmonton has at least had a tough schedule. Like, the Leafs haven't left their time zone.
Right. They played 5 road games.
They played 5 road games out of their first, 17, 18 games. Like, other teams, Winnipeg's in Seattle last night. The Leafs have gone down to, Philadelphia. They've gone to Boston.
Detroit.
Buffalo and Detroit. They're taking bus rides.
They're sleeping in their bed that night, literally, by midnight, by 1 o'clock in the morning.
So give it 12 more games.
You start to look at it, and, yes, U.S. Thanksgiving is coming. This might be 1 year, though, that is an outlier. Like, it's a mishmash of teams. You got 1 or 2 at the bottom and a few at the top, and everyone else is just lumped up. So you might have 25 teams that go, are they going to blow it up, or are they going to add to their group?
Well, and that's a reality. And, again, it's so early in the season still that there's going to be ebbs and flows. But, like, you look at the Atlantic Division, it has been dominated by Florida, Tampa, and Toronto for the most part for 5 or 6 years. It's Montreal, Ottawa, and Boston.
Yeah.
And Detroit was holding on to one of those spots for a long time. So, again, I think that would likely embolden Florida, Tampa, Toronto to say, we're not trusting these guys yet. Let's try to get out of this, find a way to get back into it. And I understand that attitude, but it's got to happen at some point. Like, it's been reported they had some big meeting, blow-it-up meeting the Leafs did, Berube video, all the players, guys were getting called out. On Monday, then they go into Boston, play horribly against them, and come home to L.A. and play horribly to L.A. Yeah. Like, you guys have been in those meetings. When you get a response like that, that's got to be very unsettling.
Yeah, like if you have the coming to Jesus meeting where the coach is freaking out and calling people out, Paul Maurice used to do it a lot, make us watch the whole game from the night before. The whole game, start to finish. And he is just ripping guys for the 60-minute game, and it's not fun to do. And you would think that there would be some kind of response. But to show you how much it's changed, A great observation by Doogie and a great start to the show, Doogie. Excellent getting the crowd fired up.
Yeah, Doogie's great.
Amazing.
Doogie really is a man of the people.
Got a rental coat on today, too.
He is developing a fan base cross country.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
But at lunch, he was discussing going into Chicago might be a challenge for the Leafs on Saturday night. And it's just like, wow, going into Chicago might be a problem.
Well, because if you're Connor Bedard, you are salivating at playing that defense right now.
That's exactly right.
Like salivating at playing the Maple Leafs defense core right now. The way they defend, the way they handle the puck.
You know what?
It's just green light special for anyone right now, and they got to figure that out.
You can't do it nowadays because of camera phones and that. What they need is a road trip and to go get drunk.
They need to get to a Boston Pizza.
They go to
out
a
here
Boston Pizza on the road, and they get hammered, and they play guilty, and you play hard. And then you get your way out of it. That's the way it used to be like that.
Old school. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
You can't do that anymore. This guy's got the PlayStations.
Group chat and Call of Duty.
Like,
just get some Call of Duty going on the road.
You need something. You need a road trip that'll galvanize the group.
Well, it's coming because, again, they're going to hit the road here.
Yeah.
So you're going to get Wall back. I presume Matthews will return at some point, and Stolarz will return. And they've got, I think, 10 to 12 games here to send a message to their own management and ownership, like what we actually are and what we can do. And that applies to Edmonton, like you said. It applies, like Montreal's been pumped the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Like they got pumped by
they're having
Dallas
a market reset. That's what it is.
Yes, and injuries. Newhook's done for 4 months, and Gooley's out for 8 to 10 weeks, and Dobish is all of a sudden coming back to reality, and Montembeault, and like Lane Hudson's really struggling.
That's
like,
fair.
Really, really struggling right now. So, yes, it's a market correction, exactly, but
I think it's probably a lesson for Marty St. Louis, too, because he was talking about they just finished a stretch where they won a bunch of games. They're on top of the division. And he asked the question. He was trying to play cool with it, but he's like, am I happy right now? Of course I'm happy. He should get into the Scotty Bowman kind of frame of mind. When the team's playing good is when you start being the jerk to the guy.
You get mad,
Yeah, you start getting mad. You start getting more demanding. And then when they're struggling, you take your foot off the gas a little bit. That's an old school kind of thought process from coaches. But Scotty Bowman, I've always heard that about him in Detroit. Yeah. Playing good. He was always hard on the guys. When they started losing a bit, he would.
Daryl Sutter was like that with us in Calgary. You'd win a game, you'd be all happy, and you'd like just that bitter beer face. You're staring at. You're like, why is he pissed off? And then you lose 7-1, and he's like, he wants to fix it. He wants to be there for you. He was such a great players coach that way. That might be the process in Montreal. But you look at this Atlantic Division. Regardless of what you think of Buffalo, when you get in trouble in Buffalo with your thought process.
They don't love me in Buffalo.
But
we love Winnipeg. We hate Buffalo.
That's right. Put that on a shirt. We love Winnipeg. Hate Buffalo.
But none of those teams are in rebuilds. There's high expectations in every market, right? There's 8 teams there. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
At best, 5 will make it. It's probably going to be 4 and 4.
No, you're right.
Like but like you said, from 7 to 1 is 4 points. So you need a good week. You need a good 10 days. We could be having this conversation 2 weeks from now, and the Leafs have rattled off 4, Ottawa's lost 3, Montreal wins 3. Like it's going to be all over.
It could be one of those
all
seasons.
Season long. We're going to do that. I guarantee you.
That's what we just saw in Major League Baseball, right? Like there was a lot of like uncertainty in terms of how teams were going to play it out, and like the whole season. Remember, we had Tim Kirkjian on going into the World Series, I think it was, and. You know, Tim said, hey,
I think it was bananas.
Yeah, I think it was actually when they were down 2-0 to Seattle, heading back to Seattle.
That's exactly when it was.
And we said, do you think the Jays can get back in this? And he said, have you been watching baseball this year?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely they can. Everything's completely unpredictable. When you think you have a read on it, it goes the other way.
So one of my, 5, we're not getting to this list.
Well,
so
get to it at some point.
Just give us one of yours.
The league is bananas this year. The shortened training camp, so now there's been no systems. Guys look like they're disorganized. Teams look disorganized. It's because there's no training camp, there's no practice. It's all about sports science. So instead of getting out on the ice and running routes and learning systems, it's like day off. You need the guys to rest their legs.
I'm not buying that, though, Jamie. I know it's happened, but I just think when you're in the best league in the world and you're one of the best players in the world, you should be able to put your gear on at any time and say, what are we doing here?
100%.
To look disorganized in that league, I think, is absolutely ridiculous.
How many games have you been watching where you're like, that's a weird play? Where you're like, if they were at the top of their game, there's no way a guy in their right mind would pass that puck there. And it's just going there, and player goes, oh, you're going to give me a breakaway? Okay, go ahead. I'll take it. To me, I think the league is upside down. It might even get worse. You add 2 more games in next year, 84 games.
Got the Olympics.
And no training camp.
Yep.
Yeah, this year everything's condensed because of the Olympics. But I look at it. That's was one of my points for the whole league.
I hear you.
The details haven't been there yet, and the good teams that are detailed are the ones near the top. Winnipeg's one of them.
Winnipeg's absolutely. Dallas,
team.
look what Dallas is doing after what they just did in Montreal, and they're starting to roll. And obviously, Colorado's been the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Speaking of baseball, Aaron Judge ends up winning the AL MVP last night over Cal Raleigh.
Are you upset
I don't
about that?
listen.
Or no?
Didn't agree with that, and I didn't agree with Schneider losing.
Yes, I thought Schneider should have been the AL Manager of the Year for sure. But listen, Judge is the best player in the American League. Like, there's no disputing it. His numbers, the analytics, the wins above replacement, the OPS, OPS plus. I could give you all these different numbers that just jump off a page.
Right.
But Cal Raleigh, playing the position he plays, hitting 60 home runs as a catcher, switch hitting catcher, he should have won it.
Yeah.
He should have won it. Seattle won the division. The Yankees didn't. I know the Yankees still ended up with 94 wins and a lot, and they were right there with the Jays. They did not win the division.
Do you think that was the New York bias, maybe?
That's a good question. I don't know. But listen, it's tough to argue against Judge because he's so great. You know, like on the National League side of things, Ohtani, it's so routine. This guy's going to win every single year.
Well,
he's got his dog in the video. Like, he's not even taking it seriously. They're calling his name out, and he's picking up his dog like Dr. Evil.
But what? I mean, he knows it.
It's so routine for him.
Well, let me ask you this. He's got to get 3 more to match Bonds. Do you think he does it?
Mini Jerry's?
Yeah.
35%.
Yeah.
35% of Mini Jerry's.
I think he does it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's your Mini Jerry's on Shohei with 3 more? That's a lot. He's not a young guy.
He's 85%. This guy pitches and hits.
I'm going to go 60%. Like, he's no kid anymore, man, like you said.
No, he's not. But he is a stud. He is an absolute stud.
Baseball is long, but it's not as taxing. You know what I mean?
Well, and he DHs. Like, when he does pitch, it's very taxing. And preparing for that and the day after he pitches is taxing.
That's fair.
Everything in between, this guy's just taking hacks. And
Rowley should have won. He had a mustache. He had everything
big
working.
dumper. He's got a great handle. It should have been the big dumper's MVP. But it didn't work out that way. Talking about crazy coaches, and we got Luke coming up here in a moment. We'll get into the Thursday nighter last night. We got jammed up. We'll let him pretend as if you guys are now in a good place.
He's going to gloat.
We have a new hashtag. We have a new hashtag. Hashtag Now We Go.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. It's very concerning for Al's brother and I that you guys are 12 back. But Jesse Marsh goes crazy on that sideline for Canada, man. Like, they tied Ecuador 0-0 last night. They had a red card 6 minutes into the game. And they didn't give up any shots. They defended really well. Ecuador's a really good team. But Jesse Marsh is fighting people every game, and I love it.
He's got an attitude to him.
He's always snapping.
He's Lieutenant Dan. He's pissed off every time he's on.
Always. Anyone wants a piece of Jesse Marsh, he will take it on.
Yeah,
and I love that, and I think it preps very well for the World Cup, which is right around the corner. The Grey Cup right around the corner. We have the commissioner coming in. Stu Johnston will join us. Stu will join us around the table at 5. James Duthie coming up. It is Duthie country, right? It's Duthie country out here.
We got a internal bet though. Is he going to put the book right there?
I'd be shocked if there's not books here.
What's your Mini Jerry's like? He's not loved everywhere. What if he gets booed when he comes in here?
Why would Duthie get booed anywhere?
You never know, man. You never know who hates who.
Duthie's the most likable guy on Canadian television. What could
do
possibly...
we all love Duthie in here or no?
I don't know. There might be a couple
of us. Hear that? You heard that.
There might be a couple.
You heard that.
They're booing him because of you. That's why.
No way, man. You never know who hates who.
That's concerning. I was not prepared for an anti-Duthie crowd at the Boston Pizza in the Peg.
No, we can't.
He's not here yet, so when this guy gets announced and he comes up, you just start booing as loud as you everyone.
Okay, we got to do that. Just see how he reacts.
He'll be like, "Oh my God."
All right, so we got JD coming up. Luke's coming up. We got Johnny on the show. Mike Johnson will join us. So we'll get into the Leafs. We'll get into the mood meter with him.
Yeah.
Injuries around the league and everything that's going on. And we're looking ahead to the Grey Cup. And shout out to Nathan Rourke, who won the MOP last night. He's had a great, great season. And we'll touch on all that as we continue. Live from the Boston Pizza Polo Park in Winnipeg. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Northern Super League Final on TSN.
Olympic.ca for details.
The 112th Grey Cup is on TSN 1050. This Sunday, Montreal takes on Saskatchewan to see who will be crowned Grey Cup champions. Alouettes, Rough Riders. Kickoff at 6:30 p.m. on TSN 1050 and across the TSN radio network. The CFL lives here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
If you smell what the
Win Wilson
is cooking. Girl, you know it's true. Oh, let's go.
Don't stop, people. Don't stop with the Luke chants, because you know what? We have a new hashtag. It's hashtag
Now we go.
Yes. Yes. Now we go. We're down 12, but there is a lot of runway left. And
Meat on the bone.
Meat on the bone.
It's a dozen, though. You guys got
Do you know how pathetic that is, Noodles? That these guys are.
Did you just see that we won and you're like, they're still losers? These guys are disgusting.
Of course, absolutely. That's natural. A half-point cover on a butt fumble. That was borderline butt fumble 2.0. It's still a cover.
Looks like a win.
We got jammed by the time zone, too. That number was 13.5 on FanDuel. Until we got to Winnipeg, and then it went to 12.
And that's what made it even better, and that's why the tables have turned. And we've got 5 ops on Sunday. 5 ops on Sunday.
A lot of games.
Game in Madrid, Grey Cup.
Madrid.
You smell that?
Yeah.
You smell that?
The tide is turning. That's
the
what you're
tide's
saying?
turning. Now we go.
Well, listen, I will say, my partner and I, you can feel it because you don't want to let it get away from you. And you're right, there's a lot of games left on the line. There's still 6 more games we're going to play this week.
And then Thanksgiving.
And then Thanksgiving, we got 3 games there. That's a quick turnaround. And my guy,
now,
Al's
There'll be
brother,
some whales in Singapore contacting us on Monday.
Al's brother is still down on the Caribbean cruise all through next week.
Wow.
So, like, I need this guy as a team player.
Wow.
And he told me yesterday, he goes, just a heads up, I am off the grid
There's
next
no
week.
email on this?
Yeah.
Well, the guy's, what kind of cruise is Al's brother on? He's on a flotation device.
Exactly. Like, it's not a
Cruising through the Caribbean.
He said he's out of touch for 10 more days?
Yes, I don't know if there'll be contact with Al's brother next week, which is very, very concerning.
Alarming.
very
Not
alarming.
concerning. Alarming.
You might have to put him on the trading block.
Well, listen, he's been great. He's been great so far, and we're in a very good place. But I guess, what's the story for you last night? The Jets continue to find a way to jet. They were always going to lose that game. It was a matter of whether or not they could cover. For me, it's New England and trying to figure out, like, how much do I believe this team can win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Like, not be competitive. They're going to the playoffs. They're 9-2. They're probably going to win the division. That's not a lock yet, but they are going to the playoffs. Can they actually compete for a Super Bowl this year?
Does it remind you at all of Brady days back in the past, where it's not like spectacular, kind of greatest show on turf, but they win?
That, to a degree, yes. Like, I no way am I going to put Drake May in the Brady category, but team-wise, I do think it's very similar, and it makes sense. Vrabel's obviously played under Belichick, and we've talked about it, but the Pats, to me, right now, are an extremely complete team, and they can beat you in a variety of different ways. They can win the slow, grinder, let's run the ball. They can be explosive. You saw that 2 weeks ago in the run game. Henderson, this rookie running back,
he's a stud, man.
Looks like a star right now,
Right.
and the defense makes plays. And Diggs has also turned the clock around. So do I think they can make some noise? Yes. As far as go to Super Bowl, I do think it's a possibility. They're not my favorite. But in the AFC this year, I got to be very honest. I think the AFC is weak. I think there's a lot of fraudulent teams right now, including, like, I'm not a huge believer in the Denver Broncos offensive situation. I'm not a huge believer in Danny Dimes right now. I do think the Colts are a great team.
You've loved him from the start of the season.
Indiana Jones. It's a totally different guy. We talked about it yesterday. Danny Dimes is starting to rear his head.
Yeah, he is. No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
he's
right.
going to peel a mask off one day, and he's going to be really Danny
It'll be
Dimes.
Al's brother under there staring back at you. That's what it is.
So I do wonder, like, right now, if you what team, if they have to go into Foxborough, do you feel good about beating New England in the AFC?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably a veteran team that's been there before.
Chiefs?
Yeah, it's like if it's the Chiefs, I'd even lean Bills if they were in that position.
I would lean Bills, but, like, I don't feel great about it.
No,
so.
I wouldn't feel great.
Yeah.
And, the way they talk about Drake May, I saw Trey Henderson speaking about him after the game, about how humble he is. Like, I don't know much about this guy. Like, he seems quiet but professional. And, we talk about the Packers going from Favre to Rodgers into Love. there was a gap between Brady leaving and Drake May arriving, and it is early, and we have seen quarterbacks have a big year or two and then kind of fade or what have you, but this guy looks very legit to me.
He does. It's tough for me. You remember the movie The Little Giants?
Yes.
He reminds me of Spike, and not personality-wise, but like he's just like the ultimate like football guy.
Yeah.
He looks like you talk to him, he's pretty humble. Even to have guys come out to the media and say that, and he's so young, I think speaks volumes for how he is in that locker room. You're not just going to freely say some of the things that your teammates are saying. You don't just go out of your way to.
So what you're basically saying is New England's frauds.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I think
man.
9 and 2,
they deserve a lot of credit. Yeah, a lot of credit. I mean, I wasn't expecting it this year. I thought they'd be competitive. I didn't think they'd be 9 and 2.
Like they've got a legit shot at the 1 seed.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
They got a soft schedule. And they're going to have to beat the Bills again, in my opinion, if they want the 1 seed. But they got a legitimate shot of getting a bye, which is crazy to think of.
Well, it does seem like there's got to be some statements made at some point soon. Yeah. This week, the Bills have got the Bucs. Chiefs coming off the bye, I believe.
Denver, against Denver.
Like, who would you circle and say, AFC or NFC, this team needs to make a statement?
On a flip side, I would actually say the Bucs. The Bucs, at one point, we all thought, hey, is this team going to make some noise in the NFC? Baker's obviously not. He still have a great year, but we were talking about him MVP 3-4 weeks ago, where now all of a sudden, if they can beat Buffalo, which I know they're not favored to, but if they can go in and have a big statement win, similar to how they beat Seattle, that would be something where, hey, maybe we reconsider them in that upper echelon of the NFC.
You got to go KC as well.
KC is the big one. No, this is it. Do you want to win the division? If they want to still be alive?
Yeah.
This is a must-win for them.
Coming off a bye, you've
Coming
got to
off a
win
bye
this game.
against an 8-2 Broncos team in your division, this is a must-win for KC, in my opinion.
Screams statement from
Andy
them.
Reid will have them fired up.
Oh, yeah, and guess who's calling that spread?
You guys are on it, naturally. The Doogie special in Winnipeg.
Doogie jam job.
Making sure that you guys get back in the game. Look at
There's
Doogie.
another mannequin gone today. There's another naked mannequin.
Doogie's robbing jackets from all over Winnipeg.
Randy River. There's a Randy River that's missing a coat right now.
I love it. So you were at the award show last night, right? And Nathan Rourke kind of cleaned up like we expected.
Yeah.
And Rourke, we've spoken about him, before. We've had him on the show, and this is his second MOP. In between MOPs, he went down to the States, tried to make it in the NFL. It didn't happen. I would have to think that ship has probably sailed now. So if it has, and he's committed to the CFL, and he's going to play for the next 10, 12 years, is he your guy? Is he the guy you see kind of running the CFL for the next decade? Is there more there that we could expect out of him in the future?
I definitely think that he can keep growing as far as his ability in this league, because at the end of the day, even though he's been the MOP this year, he's still a very young quarterback and doesn't have a crazy amount of reps in this league.
Didn't you say a month ago that you thought he could play in the NFL?
I do. I think he can play in the NFL for sure. I think he has the ability to. Now, this is where things get a little misconstrued. I don't know if he's walking in and starting. I don't know if he's walking in. And this is where he's probably got to make a decision in his future at some point.
Well, doing what he did the first time doesn't make sense for anybody's career. Bouncing around, he went to 4 teams, didn't he, within a month?
Tryouts.
It's tough because you don't, and I speak from personal experience in this one. You don't know what you don't know. And I remember when he signed in Jacksonville, everyone was like, oh, he's excited. And I thought to myself, because the rumor was that he had options. I'm like, why would you pick Jacksonville? You're behind Trevor Lawrence at that time, not Trevor Lawrence currently, who's very young, first-round pick, a ton of runway to make mistakes. And what ends up happening, I think, in the NFL, I'm sure it transcends different leagues, is that sometimes you still get the recruiting pitch. Some coach really loves you. Hey, I can't wait to work with you. But then once you're in the building, it's like priorities change.
Everyone hates you.
Hey, man, you're not going to get the reps that you thought you were going to get. So it's hard to kind of feel like who's being authentic and who's not. So I do wonder, if there's a situation that presents himself where he can go in and compete, he'll probably grasp at it, I would guess. But he's got a pretty sweet gig right now, and he's got a lot of
making a lot of money. And
he's got a lot of unfinished business, I think, in the CFL.
When you were kind of near the end, bouncing around a bit, did anyone make you promises where you wanted to absolutely stuff them in a locker afterwards where they just did not happen?
So my favorite, it was actually it was, and I like this guy a lot. I do. I do like him.
He hates his guts.
I like him. I like him.
All right.
John Gruden. This is one of my all-time stories with John Gruden. So
in Oakland or
in Oakland, it was right before they went to Vegas.
Okay.
And this is God's honest truth here. I get in, and I had just come off the Detroit year, and I had a lot of film, but my stats were not great. So I started thinking to myself, like, man, they're going to watch the film. Like, I'm going to be fine.
By the way, what is this a film that you and your agent put together?
No, like, you guys have access to the film.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So you're not making a tape saying,
no, I'm not making a tape. I'm like, dude, put the film on.
I want to make sure.
Putting it under his door.
So I show up to Oakland on a recruiting visit, and free agency was tough for me this time. It's the polar opposite of the year before. And I sit down, and Gruden comes in. He's a big personality. You know who he is, Super Bowl coach.
And loves film.
Loves film. And he comes in and he puts on this film of me in Seattle, not in Detroit. Oh. And he gives me the whole speech. He's like, man, when I was in the booth on Monday night, he's like, we got to get this guy back. Like, I loved you. You know how he talks. He's kind of got that quirky attitude. He's like, you're the best kept secret in the NFL. I'm telling people right now, like, they misuse you in Detroit. And I'm like, oh, I've been waiting to hear this. Here we go. So he keeps pumping my tires. He's like, here's the catch, though. I'm like, what's the catch, coach? He's like, man, it's a prove it deal. We're going to give you the best opportunity. We're very thin at the tight end position. He's like, we don't really have a guy to play it right now. He goes, the only guy I really have is a receiver who's never played tight end. Like, you're going to walk in and start here. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but you're going to do it for vet minimum. So I'm like, oh. So I call my agent. He's like, listen, he is right. Like, we can probably get more money elsewhere, but you're going to get the best opportunity here in Oakland. So I'm like, all right. First day of offseason. We're sitting in this auditorium. We're in Alameda, Oakland. And he comes in. He's talking about the team. And he's the first-year coach. And he goes, let me tell you something about tight end here. He goes, you guys probably don't know. We got the best-kept secret in the NFL, tight end. And I'm like, wow, like,
he's going to say my name.
Talking about me. Yeah. And he keeps going on, and it's literally verbatim everything he said on this free agent trip I took. And I'm like, and he's making guys stand up. So I'm like wiggling in my chair, like, hey, he goes, Darren Waller, stand up. I'm like, I've never felt so small. I'm like, oh my, like sinking in the chair. And at the time, Waller was unknown.
Right.
And he was a absolute
Stud,
freak.
too.
And he was the best kept secret at
Accurate statement.
Yeah.
But we got to training camp, and it was a bit weird because they were like, hey, we ended up drafting Foster Moreau too. So my tight end coach comes up to me with 3 weeks left in training camp, and he goes, hey, man, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm like, what's up? He's like, I know I told you you're going to make the team. He's like, you're going to get no more reps the rest of camp, and you're getting cut on. And I'm like, there's 3 weeks left. So then it got weird because I called my agent. I'm like, hey, you got to get me out of here. Like,
I just got to go back a sec. This guy comes up to you, your tight ends coach, and goes, I'm just letting you know there's no more reps for you, and you're probably getting cut by Friday.
No, probably. You're getting cut.
You are getting cut.
Definitively.
And I'm in year 7.
John Gruden told him to go over and tell him that.
So what got Mayock was the GM. This is like, I've never actually told him about this.
NFL Network.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, these guys, I'm in year 7. You know, a lot of snaps played. I'm like, they're going to have some respect here and let me get out of here. So my agent calls Mayock and is like, hey, we heard the news. Like, no problem. You know, it's professional. But, like, let's get Luke into another camp real quick so that he can be on somebody's roster and be ready to go for week 1.
Yeah.
Mayock denies it. Mayock's like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's definitely considered to make the team. I'm like, I just got told I'm getting cut.
Wow, that's greasy.
Yeah, it was
man.
real.
It's greasy.
It was a greasy.
So what ended up happening?
I was the first guy cut. and it was on Hard Knocks, which made it worse. So I'm on HBO, and I'm like, here we go.
Now, you had Antonio Brown covering everything, right?
Covering everything.
Because Antonio Brown was doing some wild stuff, man.
But what was nice, though, and it's all like silver lining, was by week 3 I was in Seattle, and I played a ton that year, and like it was a great homecoming and ended up being there next 2 years. So it worked out in the end. But I remember, like, to this day, because I really do like Gruden, I love his content online. But I'm like, I have never been bamboozled by anyone more than John Gruden.
That is wild, man.
That's greasy.
Yeah,
I'll never
greasy.
support him again.
No, it's my. I actually like him.
Me
I like
and everyone in this room will boo Gruden for the rest of our lives.
I do like him.
Everyone in Winnipeg hates John Gruden.
We hate John Gruden.
That's a true
We
story.
hate John Gruden. All right,
That's
OverDrive brought to you by
ridiculous.
FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Let's get to some picks here. All right, this is what people came here to see.
Yeah.
The masterminds,
Yeah.
Hayes and Bro making picks, and you guys can chime in too whenever you're ready. I guess you're on the clock though. So where's this game? Madrid? It's in
like
Europe.
Parts. I want to
Okay.
go to Doogie Jam Job.
Commanders.
We have Commanders, Dolphins in Madrid, Spain.
Why would it shock you? Every week we have a game.
What's the
like
matter
this.
with you, Doogie?
Yeah.
I think this is a layup personally.
Yeah.
Dolphins laying 2.5. This is a layup.
Parts. I'm gonna say something, and I just want to let you know that I want to puke. while
All you
saying
have to
it.
do is just say like close your eyes and go, #now we go.
Now we go. God, this is gonna make me sick. With the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Parts.
You're laying points with Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins.
He'll be driving a car around over
Did you see
there.
the Commanders last
Do
week?
you not think they're going out in Spain or something?
They're
or what's
punching
going-
people in the face. They got 2 guys get kicked out of a game.
Dude, Dan Quinn loves Madrid.
Dude,
you guys know that.
remember when
Dan
we
Quinn
went on-
loves Madrid.
The
Remember
hat
we-
backwards flies in
Hat
Spain.
backwards. They love
Parts.
that type of
You
culture.
can go over the top. I won't be mad at you.
I can't. We're on fire right now.
We
and we're
are
not
on fire.
changing up.
You're betting on
You're
Mike
on fire.
McDaniel.
That's right. Can you imagine that?
Well, you want me to go on Marcus Mariota?
I hear you. Marcus is a veteran. He is a
I
veteran.
do wonder, though, if it's a letdown spot from Buffalo, like they beat Buffalo and then they just puke all
That's
over
what
themselves.
it screams. Miami flies halfway around the world thinking they're actually
Parts,
good.
I feel sick saying it, but like
Okay.
Washington
Lock it
looks
in.
awful.
Lock it in. Dolphins
Lock it in with
2.5.
#now we go.
All right.
I may have a little birdie that gave me some information as well.
Okay.
We'll talk about that off.
All
Fair
right.
enough,
That's
fair
why we're
enough.
pro athletes. We talk to other pro athletes.
All right. I talked to John Gruden for this next
Yeah,
pick.
exactly.
Bills, Bucks. Bills laying 5.5 at home. So Buffalo was horrendous last week. Buffalo has not been great. They have not been playing very well. They
Take
have
the
a lot of
Bucks then.
defensive injuries. The Bucks have not been playing great, but I think Baker shows up and keeps it close. We're going to take the Bucks here. We are going to take the points. The dogs are barking in
Let's
Western
give him
New
a
York.
boo for this.
Yeah.
The dogs are barking, man. We made the right pick last night, right? The Central Time Zone jammed us last night. That was a 13.5-point spread until the second we stepped foot in Winnipeg, and it turned into 12.5. The process was perfect. Al's brother and I were seeing eye to eye here. We're taking the points here. The spread's too high.
Listen,
the Bills haven't played well.
Parts, if we can somehow get a miracle and the Dolphins actually show up and cover. It's a field goal, right? 2.5.
2.5,
Got to
yes.
win by field goal. We're going to be sitting down 11 with Josh Allen playing next, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
And now we go.
Lock it in. Now you guys have the game of the year. Chiefs laying 2.5 at Denver.
Parts.
So
I think it's
3.5.
easy.
That's a big
I
spread
think it's
for a road
easy.
team.
You know how to
Layup.
start our picks.
Yeah.
#now we go.
Now we go Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Spags is going to be all over this putrid
You know
offense for
Spags will
Denver.
be ready to rock.
Spags is ready to rock. Season's on the line. This is a veteran team that needs to win this game.
Okay.
There's no world in which I'm going the other way on this.
This
Do you
feels
see how
like-
garbage Denver's offense was against Vegas a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Garbage.
I understand
Garbage.
that. They won. But they've got a long week, too. That was Thursday Night Football.
So
They won 8-7 or something.
Yeah,
It's
Andy
still-
Reid will be
I'm-
fine. Andy
This
Reid's
is a
getting
Sean
them going.
Payton game for me,
I'm just putting a scenario out there. Somehow, some way, Miami covers. Josh is covering for sure. And all of a sudden, we have Patrick Mahomes to get into the single digits.
Yes.
We don't rent our cars around here. We don't rent our cars.
We don't. We do nothing like that.
All right. You guys are locking in. Chiefs laying 3.5 on
day.
the road.
All
5-4
day.
Chiefs. Okay. All good. This is a very tough game. Lions, Eagles. Eagles -2.5 at home Sunday Night Football.
Come on.
The Eagles, now they have dominated the NFC North. Sirianni has dominated the NFC North. Dominated. And he has owned Dan Campbell the 2 times they have faced off. Dan Campbell's taken over the playbook offensively. I think that means they are going to run the ball and run it heavy and push the Eagles off that line of scrimmage. Jerry Goff on the road under the lights. We're taking the points. We're on the Lions Sunday
Wow.
night. We're on the
Actually,
Lions.
I hate that we're on the Eagles.
The Eagles have not
You don't
been
like
good,
the
man. They
Eagles?
find a way to win, which
God,
that's all that
I was
matters.
really hoping. I was really hoping to be on Goff.
I think that's the play. I think it's Jerry Goff. Now, Laporta's out. That's big.
That is big.
Laporta's out. That's going to be significant. But I think Campbell, he's got to make a statement. We talked about statement games.
Yeah.
I think the Lions have got to make one Sunday night.
Yeah,
So
kind of.
we're going to take the points. Dogs are barking for us. We're
But
on
at the end
dogs.
of the day, Parts, we're on the Super Bowl champions to go down 8.
That's true. Well, and now you get the Grey Cup to truly spin everything
Yeah.
back in your direction.
Yeah.
All right, so this line has gone up since yesterday. Riders are now 4.5-point favorites It was 3.5 this time yesterday. Money's coming in on the Riders.
Do we love the Riders in here or no? Well, look at my new hoodie. Look at this. Come on.
Bothering people for a hoodie yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody gave him a free hoodie.
Yeah, bothering executives at TSN.
Yeah.
Or what, do you like this one? The Alouettes. The Alouettes.
Boo, get out of here. That didn't work. What are you saying, Doogie?
It's actually 3.5 for the Riders now.
Oh, it's
down to
back
3.5.
down. Okay, I'm looking at the sheet
How's
here,
the
but it's back
hamstring?
to
So now,
3.5.
how are
How's
we
the
doing this,
hamstring?
though?
Davis Alexander's fine. He's
How
healthy.
are we doing this? So that are we both picking?
No, no,
Doogie?
no. It's your game, just your game. You're
Owen
picking.
Wilson's pick.
Owen Wilson.
Hashtag now we go.
Parts, we got to have a quick combo about this.
I think it's Montreal. I think that's what he's
I
leaning.
think Davis Alexander has a night.
So this is where it gets greasy. If his I actually like the Riders to win, but I think this is going to be like a real tight one. And if Davis Alexander's hammy is jammed up, this thing could get ugly. Like if he's not playing, this thing could get ugly real quick. We don't have all the information.
It's your job to know if his hamstring is jammed up or not.
He said he's good. He said treatment's been great.
Yeah, he said that. What is he going to say? I'm bad?
Well, I understand that. There's a Gruden element to that. Too.
Yeah. John Gruden told him it's perfect.
Yeah,
no
your
problem.
hamstring's totally.
I honestly hate John Gruden now.
I like the
Stop
guy.
thinking about
I'm
that. I
telling
hate
you,
that guy.
I'll
now.
never forget that story, and I hate his guy.
very
I was
upsetting.
29 years old and felt like I was a 6-year-old kid in kindergarten getting reprimanded. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
You
You know
man.
what? You feel like that. You don't even open the door to walk out. You walk underneath the door. You're this big. It's so upsetting.
Like, this isn't good.
You're Fred Flintstone. You just shrunk and walked under the door.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Who's
Okay,
that pick?
well, here you are. Now you're at
The head, the mind says Montreal, but you want me to go with the gut? I think Saskatchewan finds a way. I think they do it.
Riders. You locking that in? 3.5.
Parts, talk to me.
I think we're locking it in.
Trevor Harris, baby, let's go.
Okay, Trevor Harris. He's basically my age.
3.5.
All right, 3.5. Lock it in, man. I love that pick. Al's brother's gonna love that.
I know he will.
Al's
I
brother
know he
doesn't
will.
even know where he is.
I gotta
right
send
now.
like a carrier pigeon to find Al's
Yeah,
brother.
exactly.
I'll send him a note through the air and let him know that we're on the Owls.
God,
on
I wish
Sunday
it was
night.
2.5. 2.5 would have made me feel a lot better.
I think it's a field goal game. I think you feel like it could be a field goal game. I think Alexander plays
Maybe
well.
it's a
keeps
field
it tight.
goal in a Rouge game.
It could be a field goal in a Rouge game.
Yeah.
R.I.P. All right, you're locking in the Riders. That's your final pick. That's a lot of games we're playing on Sunday.
Parts.
A lot of games.
And now we go.
Yeah. Go
Hashtag.
Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs!
These guys are just getting run out of town.
All right.
There's enough here. There's enough people here.
There are. There's a lot of Leaf fans here. A couple of Blue Jay fans. There's people scattered.
Yeah.
All right, Lukey. Good luck this weekend, buddy. Have
need it.
yourself a great time.
I'm sweating all these picks now.
It's going to be quite a Sunday. From pillar to post, man. If you're out here, you're up at 8:30 watching that game in Madrid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's go time this weekend. This is a big swing TSN Turning Point weekend.
Can't wait.
Good luck with your picks.
You too.
Oh, we don't need luck. That's how we operate. There's Luke Wilson, everybody, joining us around the table here at the Boston Pizza Polo Park out in Winnipeg. James Duffy coming up, the commissioner of the CFL coming up. Mike Johnson on all these Canadian teams struggling right now. What's up with the Leafs? How do they get out of it? That and more still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on TSN 4.
The CFL lives here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
We should maybe do some karaoke later. Some of the people in here have mentioned that some of the staff love karaoke around
Nothing
here.
wrong with
Is
karaoke.
that right?
Oh, yeah, love karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? All right. Big karaoke crowd out at the Boston Pizza.
Yeah.
In,
TSN
Winnipeg.
staff members love karaoke. man.
Okay,
couple
we'll look
drinks
into
in
that. We'll get everyone involved. We've got Duffy coming up. JD's going to be in the house.
I can't believe they're booing James Duffy.
That is awful. I
so
thought he was,
unnecessary.
throughout the country, a legend.
I thought he had 100% approval
I told
rating.
you, everyone's got that one spot where it's like people hate your guts. People in Van don't like me.
Well, yeah, that's true.
People in Buffalo, New Jersey hate you.
That's
And,
very
Buffalo
true.
and New Jersey.
And there's probably other places in the country,
Yeah.
too.
They might boo this guy as soon as he walks in.
Let's hope not. I don't want to see that.
I don't
I'd be
either.
upset
Yeah,
if that happened.
me too.
Wow.
Stu Johnston coming up to the commission. Mike Johnson will join us as well. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 streaming live on YouTube Live up on TSN's YouTube channel.
It's Mail It In Friday.
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We're live in Winnipeg, day 2 in the Peg.
Yeah.
Man, the crowd loves us out here, and I'm sure they're going to love our next 2 guests.
I told you, it's our second home.
It is our second home. We have absolutely had a blast here in Winnipeg. We're at the Boston Pizza. The hospitality's been incredible.
Yep.
And we haven't had a 5-pack around the table in a long time. Stu Johnston, Commissioner of the CFL, ladies and gentlemen, in the house.
Hey,
boys. Great to see the commish. And James Duffy.
What? You're not loved everywhere. You're not loved everywhere.
What did I do to Winnipeg? I love it here.
We don't know.
Why am I here? You have the commissioner here.
Well,
Did you
because
just bring me on to get me booed and humiliated?
we thought this was Duffy country, but it turns out
It ain't.
It's like it's basically a small parcel in Ottawa. That's the only part. Like
no,
Blackburn,
that's not
Hamlet.
true.
I'm from Ottawa. It is not true.
Exactly. Stu can hammer that out. We thought you'd have the book. The book,
Yes,
as
the
you're doing
book
the
is-
tour, the book's
Guys,
out. Everyone's loving the book.
You know that I'm not one for shameless promotion, and I would never do anything like that.
That is disgusting. Disgusting.
He's got
you would
the
do
book
that.
on the inside of his coat.
Well,
Wow,
You have,
that's tailored.
you have to sell. There you go. Sorry. Get in there, Rennie.
How beautiful is that? Look at Duffy running the whole
Rennie, that was
operation.
another poor Zoom by you.
Look at that.
That's how you sell books.
No.
That's how you sell books. Well, it's great
I
to
know
see
it
you
is
guys.
too far. It's shameless. I'm sorry.
No, it's great to see you guys. And Stu, this is the first time you're doing Grey Cup as the commissioner.
That's right.
Whereas a TV executive, I'm sure you had a lot of fun over the years. Is it a different pace for you this week?
A little bit of a different pace. I think I see a lot of TSN folks here. They know I never messed around with the production.
Right.
I just let them run so I could just hang out, visit, glad hand. It was
Yep.
wonderful. Now they're putting me to work. But boys, it's special. It started on Sunday. Canadian Armed Forces helicopter hovers about 50 feet above the ground, and the Grey Cup rappels down, and we welcome that to the city. And the Winnipeg, Manitoba, the Bombers, they are putting on a show.
Yeah, it really has been incredible. And, you know, this is the first time we've been on the road for the Grey Cup, but we've all seen it in Toronto, and we've all witnessed it, Noodles, you in Edmonton. Like, the connection, the whole country kind of comes together.
That's the one thing I noticed, that, and what I love and appreciate. Fans from every team come, and that's what I like. And that people we saw last night, everyone was behaved, and it was good, and they just want to have a good time.
It's exactly right. All of us who've been to a number of Grey Cups, that is the exact feeling. For some of us who've been to a bunch of really cool sporting events around the world, nothing compares to this. You never see where fans of all 9 teams just get together to party together and just celebrate the game. It's fantastic.
I tell everybody it's better than Super Bowl week.
You think so?
Because Super Bowl week is just too big and corporate. And plus, nobody's inviting me to, like, the Maxim party or something.
Yeah.
Whereas the Grey Cup is just total Canadiana, where you can go to all these places. It's laid back. The commission will walk into the party and have a beer.
Well,
you're never going to see that happen in the National Football League.
You don't think Goodell's going to do that?
Well, that's the thing. Now that you're the commish, is it stop and chat with all 9 fan bases? Everybody's got, like, you know, a critique or not, maybe a suggestion of
just
what.
all love. All love.
All love.
It's
That's
just
what it is.
all love.
Right?
Nothing better than a guy that's had 20 beers that feels like he can make the game better, huh, Stu?
Those are when I get my best ideas.
Oh,
Jeff.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I think there's a story about the Browns owner that talked to somebody who was just drunk on the street, and he said, draft Johnny Manziel, and he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, don't listen to that guy,
All right.
Stu. There's our suggestion. But yeah, it's been a really cool couple of days. We saw you up there on the podium speaking French as well.
Can we?
That was pretty incredible. I mean, has that always been a part of the background? I wasn't aware of that you had that type of talent.
Well, you know us Ottawa boys. We come up close to that Quebec border. We learn a little French along the way. And
Usually only in the bars in Hull.
that is true. That is true. You scrape the rust off.
Deux autres bières, s'il vous plaît.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's great. And there's such a wonderful French population in Winnipeg.
Right.
So if ever there was a time to bring the French out, I thought it was here.
Stu, we've seen Gary Bettman address the National Hockey League at different times of the year, one being the All-Star game, and there's one other time, maybe before the Stanley Cup playoffs start. What is one thing that you like to get across? It's your first time. What's one thing you did want to get across in addressing everybody?
Yeah, well, I mean, a few things. One, just a reinforcement of how amazing this league is, how unbelievable Grey Cup week is. And then coming off some of the announcements we've made earlier this year, I just wanted to make sure I was crystal clear. that we are a 3-down, 12-player, 65-yard wide, unlimited motion game. That is here, and that is here to stay. And so we can't wait to see that game, going forward.
There you go. There's a round of applause.
So when you're doing your speech, is it a teleprompter? This ties into you and the other night. There was a comment by a commissioner that called somebody Dumbo instead of Jumbo.
Yeah, I felt for
I
don't think you guys should have given him a hard time, because as much as you can give Bettman a hard time for a lot.
We didn't give him a hard time.
You destroyed him, O-Dog.
He did, not me.
I didn't do anything. I
don't
swear
think we
to
said
God.
anything.
No.
He came backstage, and I thought he was going to cry. It's like one of the first times I felt bad for the commissioner in my life.
It's just a mistake. It's not a big deal.
But that's a tough one.
And Jumbo was great about it, too.
Yeah.
Jumbo kind of laughed. But it wasn't a teleprompter mistake, was it?
No, I think it's just
D?
the teleprompter is at that thing is way at the back of the room, so maybe it's hard to read sometime if you're doing a thing.
Well,
so I don't know. I think
we should cut all commissioners a lot of slack.
Yes,
Exactly.
Everyone's just trying to have a good time.
That's right.
Everyone's trying to have a good time. Well, Stu Johnson with us, Commissioner of the CFL. James Duthie with us here as well. And JD, you're a part of the production.
Thank you. Thank you again.
You're a
running
part
gag.
Let's leave him alone, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys. Let's show him some love
That's
here.
enough.
You've hosted the Grey Cup so many times in your career, and it's a big, you're obviously thinking of the production, and you were joking, Stu, about, flying into Grey Cup cities in the past and allowing the production to do what it does. As a commissioner, I'm curious what you put more emphasis in on Sunday. Will it be the actual game itself, like how it plays? Is it a close game? Are they both teams healthy, playing well, suspenseful? I know your objective. It's not about one team winning or the other. Or is it the details of the event? Because the event is as big as it gets.
It is. I mean, Grey Cup week is the event, and then it finishes with the ultimate finale in the game. So the game on the field, I want two teams battling it out, stay healthy, great officiating, and a close game at the end, and I'm great with the game. Mm-hmm. But because this is such a massive event and there's so much interest of national importance, we want to make sure it comes off well. So working with a broadcast partner, make sure that those pictures look fantastic and show off this amazing game in the best possible way.
So in saying that, is it that you go up to Duthie and say, like, in years past, this was terrible what you did, so make it better this year?
Yes, because I held off telling him that in my previous life. I've got a laundry list now.
Well, the truth is, the one thing he would usually say to me on Grey Cup Sunday is, make sure you grill the commissioner.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's true, because one thing I love about TSN, the bosses never interfere in what we say, never tell us what to do, even though the partner's with the league. And so that's one of my jobs on Sunday, and now he's got to be on the other end of it.
How do you prepare for the Duthie treatment on Sunday?
Well, I am going to drink a lot on Saturday night. I'm going to
maybe Sunday morning.
Maybe Sunday morning, get myself ready. James has always been a very fair broadcaster and asks just very straightforward questions. And no, I'm looking forward to it. He is, I think you would all agree, the best broadcaster.
Oh, he's sucking up.
One of one.
Sucking up now.
One of one.
Oh, thank you.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
We'll clap for him. Duthie country.
That's it.
Duthie country.
Duthie country.
Just remember that on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to open up with these rule changes are a joke.
Well, the rule changes, I mean, you talk about a wave of optimism, pessimism, everything in between. People had a lot of reaction, to some of the rule changes, the details of, the field and the benches going on different sides and the end zones, et cetera. Nathan Rourke in particular, we interviewed you shortly after. Nathan was not overly happy with the decisions that you made to, take the league in a certain direction. And last night he wins the MOP. He's maybe the face of the CFL right now. Have you had a chance to catch up with Nathan? And if so, where do things stand with the players around the league in terms of where you're kind of taking the sport?
Yeah, look, I was at the awards last night. I got to see Nathan, chat with him before the awards, and then afterwards holding his two beautiful trophies, and gave him big congratulations. Really nice connection, nice conversation. He's focused on the BC Lions and where they're going to go next year. And I think we've had a great understanding kind of where each other's perspective is. And I think what he's hearing from me, and certainly what he would have heard today, is these changes are about enhancing our game. They're not about changing our game. And that's our focus. And when I look at the two quarterbacks playing in the game on Sunday, both of them have been very supportive of the things we're trying to do. I talk to player agents. They tell me all their clients are super pumped about where we can go as a league. And today we just announced, a brand new overhaul of our website. We're going to have a new app. We're going to launch a season-long fantasy game. All things to engage our fans in what our game is. And I think there's just a lot of excitement about that.
Yeah, well, I read that today, and I noticed a lot of positive reaction to it. And I sense there's been people that have been calling for that for quite some time, linking the fantasy, making sure the technology is where it has to be in 2025. So if you are a fan and you're hearing that, like, how do you emphasize the fantasy in particular? Because it's such a huge part of pro sports today, whether it's the NFL, NHL, every league has got to have it. You guys have it now, but how do you make sure everyone's exposed to it?
Well, you guys are going to do a great job promoting it for us.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're going to get you on teams as well.
Yeah.
We think that through all our channels, whether it's with our great partners here at TSN and RDS, and certainly our own channels and other partner channels, we are going to promote it. Everyone's going to know we've got season-long fantasy, and that really is the gateway to fandom. And I think for football in particular, out of all those sports, it's just so important. You pick your teams, you have your draft, and you move forward, and week to week, you know all about fantasy. It just keeps you engaged, and I can't wait to see it come together.
So in terms of plans, these are pretty significant, and then this I don't see any drawback from the website, from the fantasy. I think that'll be very, very well received. How quickly do you dive into more changes? Like, what is your appetite for that next move, considering how substantial these have been and the reaction they've all kind of had over the last couple of months?
Well, look, I'm going to let us all breathe for a little bit, but I know the folks at the league office are pretty tired of me asking one question over and over. Why do we do that? Why? Let's just answer. Don't do anything because you've always done it before. Let's ask why we're doing it. We're in a modern world. Let's figure out where we're going to go. And the answer could be because this is the best plan. This is the best option. That's great. I don't think any of us should be afraid of change. And we're not looking at any rule changes, but just how we run our business and the website, our relationship with the provincial football organizations, with Football Canada, with how we're going to drive flag football in schools. Super exciting stuff. And that's where I want to see us go.
JD, you just perked up with the flag football.
He was a star.
That's your wheelhouse.
Here we go.
Well, the Olympics thing just happened like 10 years too late. I think I would have been there if it was, 2016.
I agree.
But it's not going to happen for me this time.
And CFL players eligible for the Olympic Games?
Absolutely.
So what's going to I wanted to save this for Sunday, but this is the one I'll ask. So if Nathan Rourke, say, is the quarterback for Canada at the Olympics, it's not shutting down the league like the NHL is, right? He'll just miss a couple of games? Or
look, it's 2028. So the announcement we want to make is they're going to be there. They're going to participate. We're going to work it. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's hear it for that.
Yeah. How big an opportunity is this for our players and our game to be available for that team? So let's just say that is happening. How we handle it, we're going to work with the CFLPA. We're going to talk about kind of how things can roll out. I think the two obvious ways to handle it is, one is you play right through like they do in soccer when teams move out, or you shut down. I think most likely we power right through. Looking forward to those discussions. There's only 10 players on a team.
Right. There might only be 3 CFL players or something that play in it, right?
Right. No, exactly.
You have Canadians playing in the NFL that could play in
it.
Right.
You mentioned a guy like Nathan Rourke. I mean, that's pretty difficult to fulfill that guy's role if he's going to miss a game or two. Unless you're going to step in, JD. Is that what you're claiming it could be you?
It's not out of reach.
Right. And it is a few years away, so you have time to figure that out. But in terms of what that could mean for your league, I'm sure you're having dreams of that already.
We are, and that when we presented that to the board and we said we know it's 2025, we're talking about 2028, but I think it's really important for us to get the message out now that we are committed, that however it's going to work out, if a team's going to miss a player for a couple of weeks, we're okay with that. All 9 lead governors said, absolutely, we're in on that. This is too important an opportunity. We will manage whatever the fallout is. The fact it happens in the middle of our season, that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Well, we've been in Winnipeg the last couple of days. We had the nail gun on yesterday speaking about this market and the importance in the CFL and how, the sellouts in the stadium and how just rabid the fan base is out here. I mean, you've known that for a long time, obviously, but now that you're the commissioner and you can get behind, under the hood, so to speak, how great of a Canadian Football League market is Winnipeg.
Well, look, this is a model for all other markets to follow. What the Bombers have done in the last 10 years is so impressive. Huge credit to Wade Miller, president of the Bombers, but also to this fan base. They have stepped up. They know football. They love football, and they support this team. It is so impressive. And I want to share best practices with the other 8 markets, all of whom do great things.
Yep.
But Winnipeg's pretty special.
Well, we were joking that we flew in here to take Mike O'Shea back to Toronto with us. Yeah. That's our plan.
It went over really well yesterday.
Wow.
Really well.
People here really didn't want to hear that.
That was awful talk out of your mouth.
There seems to be a lot of shuffling going on. I saw Ryan Dinwiddie today, and he's pretty ecstatic with his new role in Ottawa, and we'll see what happens with O'Shea. But how closely do you have to follow that stuff in terms of the coaching carousel in the league?
Well, very closely. I mean, we've got clear policies in place on who can talk to whom when. They have to clear it with the league office. They have to clear it amongst teams. Everything has happened above board, and so these conversations happen. What I love is the discussion about the league that continues, right? This is more talk of the CFL, and the more we're all talking about the CFL, the happier I am. And hopefully the result of Mike O'Shea lands in a place where everyone's happy in this bar.
Yes, I'm sure they will be.
But however it lands, we've got great coaches, and that they're in high demand, and I love to see the way this is playing out.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, JD, you're in Grey Cup mode, so that means you're not necessarily focused on the Leafs, but do you know who's on the panel with you on Tuesday night?
Oh, is it OverDrive night on the panel?
I think it's coming up pretty soon. I may have just let
it is Tuesday night.
I think maybe we were supposed to announce that next week.
Yeah,
and I just
probably not supposed to tell
completely threw that out.
It's on the schedule.
I'm just letting everyone know, like Duffy in particular.
I'll
you got
be
to prepare.
hungover from this, so I can just like this segment. I'll just shut up and let you guys do your thing.
I was going to say, why did you even come out here? We wanted to talk to the commission. All of a sudden, you sit down.
That's so uncalled for. Because Duffy's been booked for weeks.
You're going to have to go back.
JD booked for
You're going to have to go back on the show to see who got everybody to boo people in that coming out.
Who do you think will give you one guess?
Well, either him or him.
Or it might have been Rennie. It's Rennie.
Rennie, yes. He's been riding a tight ship out here the last couple of days.
The only thing you can do to make me feel better and make things right is to tell everybody in the bar to show up at McNally Robinson Bookstore tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
I can't believe you did that. I told you that's the only reason he wanted to come on.
There, open the code. I'm telling you, there it is. There's the book.
We're plugging books.
Yeah.
We're plugging books, as we should. How many books is that for you now, JD?
5. My wife always says I'm the only person who's written more books than I've read. So there you go.
Okay. 5 books. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
I noticed you didn't bring any for us, but that's okay.
Did you Did you like the long pause when you asked how many? Let me just think.
Oh, I know. Shakespeare over here. How many is it?
Am I in this one? Am I in this book?
You're in this book.
Yeah.
You're both chapters. Certified Beauties.
Certified Beauties.
Terrific stories. A chapter about O-Dog getting in trouble staying out late in L.A. Chapter about Noodles kind of getting in trouble staying out in L.A. So there's a common thread between the two of them.
L.A. is the trouble. Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, guys. Well, great seeing the both of you. Thank you for doing this, and enjoy each other's company on Sunday.
Yeah. Don't know why I was here, but thank you. Thank you for having me. I have no idea why I was here.
Grey Cup coming up. TSN, CTV on Sunday. JD will be running the whole operation, and the commissioner, Stu Johnston, of course, will be there. Great seeing you guys. Thanks for coming by.
You too, guys.
Stu Johnston, James Duffy. Duffy Country. There we go. We got everyone behind you. And we got a plug for your book signing later this afternoon.
That's all worthwhile now.
It's all worthwhile. All right. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
The 112th Grey Cup is on TSN 1050. This Sunday, Montreal takes on Saskatchewan to see who will be crowned Grey Cup champions. Alouettes, Rough Riders. Kickoff at 6:30 p.m. on TSN 1050 and across the TSN radio network. The CFL lives here.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mail It In Friday continues, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy a $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. We'll probably mix in a Dear Hazy B a little bit later on.
Yeah,
right? I think we're in Winnipeg. We're here to help people.
Yeah.
So we'll mix in a Dear Hazy B a little bit later on.
I can give you a quick one right now.
Okay.
Dear Hazy B, we went to a city that we fell in love to, and we want to find a way to go back every year to do some shows.
Oh, yeah.
Can you help me?
I will do everything in my power to make that happen.
Okay.
If we have to drive back to the Peg, we're coming back to Winnipeg. I'll go Eddie Olchuk right here on this show. We're coming back to Winnipeg.
We're coming back to Winnipeg.
We got to find a way to get back to the Peg.
We can rent a Winnebago and just drive right across Canada.
A Winnipego.
A Winnebago.
A Winnipego all the way to the Peg. We parked that thing right on Portage, and we set up shop.
We could probably figure something out next year. Leafs, Jets, who knows when they play. We could show up for a couple days.
That would be
on
fun.
A Thursday and a Friday.
I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
I like the way you're thinking. All right, well, we got Mike Johnson coming up here in a moment. Johnny can help us. Well, a lot of Go Leafs Go chants in here. A lot of Go Leafs Go chants in here. They do travel well.
They travel well, and there is a lot of Leaf fans in here.
I don't think there's any happy Leaf fans right now. Like, unfortunately, there's just no happy Leaf fans.
But are they over the top? Like, have you talked to anybody in the last couple days that are like, blow it up, this is it, the dream's
Jamie,
over?
there's usually some sane ones,
that.
and I'm just basing this on Twitter and the reaction that I get walking around. There's usually some sane people that are like, you know what, nothing to worry about here. There's always that percentage of the fan base that's like, there's nothing to see here, everything's fine, and don't worry about it. I haven't really kind of noticed that lately, to be honest with you.
I've been trying to go at it with that. Like, I've been trying to go at it saying, look at how upside down the league is. Just breathe a little bit. Let it sort out. Let the dust settle. But some organizations you're looking at and you're very concerned. Some you're like, okay, let's see how they come out of it. I'm in the middle on the Leafs. I don't see them, going scorched earth, but I don't think they're as bad as they look bad right now. But they're not as bad as that team that we're watching right now.
I don't think so, Noodles. I thought they'd be a good team. I mean, I've said this countless times. I thought they would kind of cruise to the playoffs or certainly be a playoff team.
Yep.
And I'm not sitting here announcing that I believe they officially won't be.
Right.
But there's no way to sugarcoat it. Like, watching them play 18 times, they've had 2 or 3 good games, like one really good game and 2 or 3 okay games.
Right.
And there have been 80% of the games where they have been thoroughly outplayed.
Well, how about this? If you're like a GM, like you always see GMs writing stuff down, coaches take mental notes, which they're so good at because they're on the bench watching the game.
Right.
And they probably write down on a piece of paper maybe 2 or 3 guys that they need to get to the next day to kind of talk about their play. You're talking about 10, 11, 12. How many guys need to up their level of play on one team?
Well,
that is crazy.
On the flip side of that, what would this team look like if they didn't have John Tavares still playing here?
No kidding.
Crazy.
Like, if they didn't have JT re-signing on an incredibly team-friendly deal, that guy is busting ass every single night. Like, he's scoring every night. He's dragging this team. They got a point last night in large part because of John Tavares.
Yeah,
and he's been very good, very consistent.
Yeah.
And, to his credit, like, I think he's comfortable. Like, the captaincy thing, that's in the rear view. The old contract's in the rear view. Now he's just locked in.
It seems like all of that is behind him where he's like, I'm just playing hockey right now.
I'm playing. And he's doing –
But he's playing every night and playing hard.
Right.
That's the difference. He's very serious. As a captain, he seemed like there wasn't a lot of smiles involved or whatever. But he's a pro. Shows up every night, works his ass off, and he doesn't cheat you for effort. Everybody else right now you're looking at, Willie's been up and down. There's points involved, lots of points. Willie's a top 10, he's feeling good. Nyes is getting points, but there's more there. The guys I worry about is the guys you don't hear their names in the broadcast once.
Well, like a Dakota Joshua or Nick Waugh, Michelli's, and yes, that is an issue. And on the defensive side of things, they don't have one guy who's playing up to his capability.
Not one.
Like not one of their defense core is playing up to their capability. And I think, again, the fear would be that Florida Panthers series just broke something. You know, like that Game 7, the way it played out, Marner leaves. Like it was just a constant storm. And now Tanev's hurt. We don't know when he's coming back. Matthews is already banged up. Both goalies are out. Like there's just a lot of mojo that's going in the wrong direction.
Well, we'll really have an idea. We talk about the U.S. Thanksgiving. They've got a bunch of road games coming up, and we're going to find out what they got.
Yeah.
So
it could be make or break. But what did you say? They're at 18 games. Give it to Game 30.
That's what I would say.
Game 30, 35, whatever. Again, look at the schedule, set a date. But again, that's us as a fan base and into the media. You know, when we talk about all these teams, Brad Treliving has to have markers for him. He's got to take a look at it. He's got to take a look at the marketplace. Who's available? Who's a seller? Who's not? Like moving the deck chairs around.
Do you think the coach is 100% safe in Toronto?
I do. I don't think it's a scenario where you're like, okay, that's bad deployment. That's bad. You know, you're having the wrong defense pairing out there in a critical time. I think it's player driven. And if the players play better and then you're seeing mismatches or bad decisions, then you look at the coach. I more lay this on the players.
Yeah.
And then if the players can't get it done, then you look at roster construction and say,
well, that's kind of where we're at, Jamie, isn't it? But imagine the idea of these players mowing through another coach or having the appetite that they can just say, don't talk to me like that. We're going to mow through another coach. That would be complete insanity for those guys. I know that'll be the third one, won't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be Babcock into Keefe into Berube.
But there has to be some correction where the coach isn't standing there saying, I want you to do this. This is how we have to play to win in the playoffs. This is how we have to play to be whatever. Whether it's Craig Berube hockey or whatever you want to call it, there has to be some adaptation where it's like, this is the personnel you're dealt with. They're not doing whatever you want them to do, or it's not working, so something has to change.
Well,
and I don't know what the hell that is. I personally think they need some different players and some better players, but in reality, you can't make that happen. So what the hell are you going to do with it?
Let me ask you this. For years, we heard Mike Babcock say the same thing. Then Sheldon Keefe started to sound like Mike Babcock with the same thing. Is Craig Berube sounding at all in his messaging?
I don't know if he's
effort,
quite there. I haven't picked up on that. I mean, effort last night, again, he ripped into Willie. That was effort.
How many times has he got to rip into this guy? Like, wouldn't you think with how good of a player Willie is that you would want, with a guy making that much money and as respected around the league as he is for his offensive performances, wouldn't you want him leading the way? Wouldn't you want him to be the hardest working guy on the ice where it's like, I don't even have to worry about Willie. Willie is going to lead the charge and show everybody how this is supposed to be done. It's not happening, and it's really weird because he's producing offensively, but the coach seems to hate his guts on a nightly basis just for lack of effort and stupid plays. I don't know. It's weird that your best player's doing that.
Well, in year 10, though, why would it change? You know, I mean, that's the thing that with these, and it's not necessarily the core players that are the issue right now. Like Willie, there are times, but Willie's also won them games and saved them at moments.
That's what I talk about, the appetite. They had the best coach in the world, or known as the best coach in the world, and they said, you're going to tell us to play a certain way, and we're telling you, screw you, we're not going to do it that way, and we don't like it, and you're going to go because we're all going to be here.
And that definitely happened with the Matthews and Marner and Nylander. The issue here is that shouldn't apply to Dakota Joshua or Nick Waugh or Jake McCabe. Like, Jake McCabe is not a guy that needs a Sheldon Keefe progressive coach. Like, that's a meat and potatoes player that can't get the job done right now.
Yeah, and you would think meat and potatoes players would be scared to death not doing that.
That's it. And that's where, you know, I think you're right, Noodles. It's predominantly on the players. They are capable of being way better. They have to be way better. But when you're being outshot significantly every game, the coach has got to do something to change that.
Yeah,
and I thought they did a better job in terms of not giving up like really awful breakdowns last night.
Grade A.
They did, but then, you know, again, the shot attempts were plus 53 in favor of LA. Like 5-on-5, they had 40 more shot attempts.
It's crazy.
Like, yes, that's on the players, but the coach has got to scheme up something where they can get away from that because their goaltenders are just getting shelled every single night.
Yeah. Well,
So
they gave up 22 high danger chances last night. Were 22 to 12.
I believe might be higher than any other team's given up all year.
We'd have to look. Well, the game before was 28 against Carolina. 28
so
chances.
there's probably the only other one is Carolina against the Leafs.
But they've got to find a way to be more consistent. You've got an opportunity, but we look at it. We were talking about the Winnipeg Jets. They go into Seattle. We expect them to beat them. They don't. But that's, it's how you respond after a loss. And now they're winless in 4. So you don't let it get to 5. We've talked about it. A 5-game win or loss streak is going to change where you are in the standings dramatically in today's parity.
Yes, but that, I think you always look at it as, well, they could win 5 in a row. What if they lose 5 in a row?
Right.
Like that, what do you think is more likely to happen? The Leafs win the next 5 in a row, or they lose their next 5?
It's not possible to say win. It's not.
Exactly.
Especially with the question marks.
I could see them losing 1 more, which would make it 5 in a row.
No, I know, but I'm saying like we start tomorrow night in Chicago. Game 1 of a 5-game stretch. It's not. I don't think either will happen. I think it's more likely they go 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. But if we're putting money on the line, what is more likely? It's 0 and 5 in the next 5 games.
Yeah, but
with Matthews out and Tanev out and all that, it doesn't seem possible they can run on 5 wins in a row.
Has it been discussed at all if Matthews has been out long term?
Well, he's on IR now, so he's out for at least.
It was retroactive though, right? They pushed it back, so it could be a week. So that pushes into this weekend.
Possibly.
Right? I don't know what's wrong.
You don't hear anything about this guy.
We don't know what's wrong with him.
You don't have a clue what's going on.
Could be in Germany right now. Who knows?
He could be over there. He could be in Winnipeg right now.
It could be.
Anything's possible. How about Brad Marchand picking up his 1,000 point last night?
He's an interesting guy. Like, is he a Hall of Fame player?
I think he is.
He is for me.
I think 1,000 points, a cup, playing for Canada. I think the Canadian conversation will be interesting because he's been great. Like, you look at it, I think...
You talk about a guy
is he not
with
on your
injury,
team?
He's leading the charge.
I think he's on it. Is he not on the team?
I don't know if he's a lock.
Did MJ pick him or not?
I don't remember if they had him on.
They did not.
And again, at age, like he was on last year because he was one of the original 6 picks.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not sure he would have been on the 4 Nations because remember he didn't have a great tournament,
right.
And he was basically their 12th forward and he wasn't playing a ton, but he has shown up this year and he's playing great.
Yeah.
Like he's playing really.
He wasn't
really
healthy last year.
Yeah, he was banged up. Exactly. In Boston, he was.
Yeah.
But I think he's played himself onto it. Like the way that he's playing and the competitive nature, the fact that he can win.
There's players that you feel like you can need in those scenarios. That's the argument for Marchand. He's a winner. He can do it. Like he proves on the biggest stage that he doesn't shrink. That's where a guy like Scheifele might be able to push somebody else out on the roster.
Possibly.
That's the way I look at it. I think Mark Scheifele deserves that. Scored again last night. Like all he does is to me, I know I'm pandering to the crowd
Big
a little
time.
bit.
I mean, I love Scheifele, but he hasn't won like Marchand or anything
no,
like that.
but he's not 19 or 20. That's the argument I have against the Celebrini or Bedard, is Scheifele has played in a lot of critical. He's played playoff hockey. He's played, deep in the playoffs. He's gone against big matchups.
All right, let's bring in our TSN hockey analyst, Mike Johnson. Johnny, where do you stand on Brad Marchand on the Olympic team?
He was on our Olympic team that Craig and I picked. He was a locked-in 4th-line left winger. So he was on our squad. I think he deserves to be there for all the reasons you guys just mentioned. The production alone would have him there, but then you factor that in with the experience and the fact that he's a gamer in the big moments, that he's going to be on that team for sure. And Scheifele, for us, he was on my team that I got coached out of him by Craig. I had him playing with McDavid, and Craig was adamant that he wanted to try Hyman there. Looks like Hyman's coming back this weekend. So we'll see how Hyman does, because it's a big chance for Edmonton and for Zach to show that, he deserves to be in that conversation to be McDavid's winger at the Olympics. So we'll see what happens there. But I think Marchand for sure is going to be in the Olympics. Hall of Fame, guys, if he never played another game, he's not a Hall of Famer for me.
Whoa.
Not yet.
Let's give some booing to Mike Johnson here, guys. That's exactly right.
Hammered in the peg.
Yeah, the Scheifele and the Marchand take. Go ahead, though. Why he's not?
He had Scheifele on his list, though.
I know.
Yeah, he's on my. Why are you booing me? I had him on my team. I had him on the first line. What are you talking about?
That sounds like
you and Craig are linked at the hip, man.
Sounds like me with the top 50 list, where I just say I had everyone.
Yeah, but
I voted that guy. I voted that guy. Like, how would we ever know if Johnny actually had it? Okay, yeah. Continue your thought on Marchand.
I would just say, obviously, incredible career. 1,000 points is not an automatic bid, right? He doesn't have 500 goals. He has the 2 cups, I understand. He has, I think, the World Cup or whatever it's called when they had the Young Guns team. But he doesn't play in the Olympics. He doesn't have sort of like the World Junior resume that some other players like John Tavares would have had. And he hasn't won sort of any major individual awards. He's been a great player. I think by the time he's done 4 more years, he'll be there. But as of today, like Keith Tkachuk is not in there. Guy's got 600 goals, right? Like Patrick Marleau, the all-time winning. There's other guys that you'd put ahead of him because of the careers that they've had and the numbers they've put up. I think we're a bit recency biased because of his great performance last year in the playoffs. He almost won the Conn Smythe, and his great start this year. But you know, Cujo or Tkachuk or some of those guys, like they would probably be ahead of him as of today if he were to never play again.
Johnny, what does Hyman have to do when he comes back? Like, how good would this guy have to play to make Team Canada?
I mean, I think he probably has to go in and be what he has been,
Yeah.
But probably score at like, you know, a 40-plus goal pace.
How much would it be? How much would it be about
chemistry.
McDavid?
And show great chemistry with McDavid, and the two of them flip it where now they are just crushing everybody at 5-on-5, like they have done for a few years, right? Like it's just, you know, one-way traffic when the two of them get on the ice there together, and they get whatever 65% of the shots and the expected goals and the actual goals, and the ice flips every time they're together. If they do that together and he produces, then I think you say, okay, he's actually, you know, the 50-goal scorer. He deserves consideration as is. But when you can get the cumulative effect of McDavid having a winger you know he works great with, then it really strengthens his case.
So, Johnny, in terms of the Leafs and their play recently, we've been talking about it obviously the last couple of days. It was pretty ugly last night. They got a point, but they blew a 2-0 lead. They blew a 3-2 lead in the third. You just knew they were not holding on to that lead. It's a weird feeling watching them play. You know what's coming. They're going to break down. They're going to give up goals. They're 8-2. What is your level of concern with the Leafs right now?
It's the same as it has been, which is significant. And again, it doesn't necessarily even go to their record because their record's not as bad as it feels like they are playing. And their record is where it is because they have star players lighting it up. But I think I read somewhere today that the most lopsided game in attempts per, you know, share of attempts was last night. LA had 75% of the attempts, 88 shot attempts to 35. Like, it's obscene, the difference between one and the other. That was the most lopsided game in the NHL this year. The second most lopsided game was Carolina-Toronto on Sunday. Like, they are going the wrong direction. And while it's great they're getting points, and yes, they're hanging at 500, and they are sort of involved in that Carolina game, and they got a point out of the LA game, this is not a way that you can play and it's sustainably successful. It's just not. Whether they get good goaltending or not, that is just part of the equation. They just, again, they don't have the puck enough. They're in their own end too much. They defend too often. They give up too many good chances. All the stuff we've talked about the whole time. And that game last night didn't do anything to dispel that notion or suggest there was progress. It looked like there was actually continued step back in the territorial domination that they were under. And that is not sustainable. As talented as they may be, that is not sustainable, and that's the concern.
So, Johnny, what is the adjustment? Like, if you're on a game show and you just had to pick one, is it personnel? Is it X's and O's? Is it just foot speed on the D-core? Like, what is the one thing that you're pointing to where you're like, this drastically has to change?
So, can I tie two things together?
Yes.
One is
I'll
allow it. Support of the defense off the rush. So somehow you allow the defensemen to not back up so much. They can confidently play a little bit tighter. And then if they're able to do that, then if you're giving me one thing, can I please get a first pass? Please. Like, that to me, when I'm watching the games and calling the games over there to get, like, so many stuff around the boards, into the shin pads, off the skates, and they never give themselves a chance to get out of their own end quickly. It's always just a slog. And so I would say give them a chance to defend a bit better, so maybe they're not under so much pressure. And then when they do get pressure on a forecheck or something, that they're able to move the puck a little crisper, a little cleaner out of their own end.
So we've been in Winnipeg. We were talking about the Jets. We jumped on their bandwagon yesterday, and just as we do that, they lose in Seattle, naturally. I know the Oilers lost last night. The Habs got pumped. And, we established at 4 that it doesn't feel like there's a Canadian team that's really that close right now. Like, I don't, collectively, the country hasn't won a Stanley Cup in 32 years. It feels more distant than it has in a long time. I don't know if you feel it the same way, but I don't know who would be the best chance to win. Like, if you had to put, let's say, a 3-pack of Canadian teams.
Winnipeg is on top right now.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Go ahead, Johnny. Where do you stand on that?
So Winnipeg in a tournament of Canadian teams would be first. They're the best Canadian team, but the problem, they're in the Central. And the Central, like it has been, is loaded. And I don't want any part of Colorado. I don't want any part of a good, healthy Dallas team. That to me, is part of the challenge for Winnipeg, unless they get somehow bumped to the other side into the Pacific. So in that sense, I probably would say Edmonton. Even though they've been terrible, history and the star power of their performances in the playoffs would say, I guess they have a chance. And the Pacific's not nearly what the Central is. So that has to factor in to the consideration. But it's Edmonton, it's Winnipeg. And if I go in the East, because not Vancouver or Calgary, I think it's Ottawa has the best chance to be successful right now in the playoffs because they are stingy defensively. And they're doing it without Brady Tkachuk, who's arguably their best player. And they're still finding ways. They're in first place. They've got points in 11 of 12 games very quietly. And they're underlying, like they're in every game because they defend well. So that, to me, will be 1, 2, 3. And Winnipeg's probably the best team in Canada, but they have the hardest road in the playoffs in Canada. And that's why it's going to be tough, even for a good team like Winnipeg, to go deep.
Yeah. I think that's probably accurate, probably appropriate. And Ottawa, they have been good, man. They got talent, they got depth, and Brady Tkachuk will return at some point in the next month or so. I think he was back on the ice today or this week.
Handling the puck.
So, I mean, that's only going to be a boost for him and for them. All right, Johnny, we'll leave it there. Great stuff as always. We'll catch up again next week, I'm sure.
All right, boys. Enjoy Winnipeg, one of my favorite towns, for sure. Have fun at the Grey Cup. Enjoy your chili and whatever else we have for that.
Oh, yes.
Let's give Mike Johnson a little bit more love than that, people. Come on. Come on.
There you go, Johnny.
They love you.
You're a fan favorite.
They love you out here, pal.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, boys.
There's Mike Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventures take you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com. All right, dear Hazy B, we'll mix in 1 or 2 of those. We'll get to our best bets powered by FanDuel as well. We're looking at a slate of football games on Sunday, including the Grey Cup.
And some news in Winnipeg.
And some news in Winnipeg that I think will make people pretty happy here in Winnipeg. So we'll tell you about that as well to wrap up 2 shows from Boston Pizza, Polo Park into Peg. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
6-531-2600. Visit connectsontario.ca.
The 112th Grey Cup is on TSN 1050. This Sunday, Montreal takes on Saskatchewan to see who will be crowned Grey Cup champions. Alouettes, Rough Riders. Kickoff at 6:30 p.m. on TSN 1050 and across the TSN radio network. The CFL lives here.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I've got a Dear Hazy B for you.
Okay, let me get a read in here for you quickly, all right? Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
I'm a Blue Bombers fan, and I love our coach. I really want him to come back. Tell me that can happen, Dear Hazy B.
I'm channeling my optimism.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, it's confirmed. Mike O'Shea is returning to Winnipeg.
There you go.
Let's go!
Mike O'Shea is returning to Winnipeg, which means our whole plan of coming out here and dragging him back to Toronto
it's not happening.
blew up in smoke, which means I can't pick a winner. I can't get a coach for the Argos. I can't get anything going.
It's all right, though.
It's like I'm on a cooler out here.
You've got some food sitting right in front of you.
Got some food. I have one more Dear Hazy B to throw at you guys.
Yes.
We all have a mutual friend who famously at an airport in Montreal about 14 months ago dropped his cell phone in a urinal.
Whoa, Doogie.
I was in the Boston Pizza urinal this time yesterday, and I saw that same mutual friend holding his cell phone over the urinal. How do we get to this guy and teach him that he has to stop that type of behavior?
I think this person that we're talking about, his name is Doogie.
That is accurate. It's Doogie.
And I've gotten to the point where he's useless and there's no hope for him. And that's just as simple as it is.
That's your advice?
That is my advice, and there's no helping
You're cutting him off.
I'm cutting him off because that behavior will always show up and he can't be helped.
I was honestly flabbergasted when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. After the trauma of that urinal drop in
remember
Montreal.
he came out and sat at the table and started eating with
Starts eating and cleaning his phone.
Get the hell out of here. Go sit at another table.
Still doing it 14 months later. Like, this guy can't figure it out. It's gross.
It is
disgusting. It's disgusting. Anyway, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Earlier this week, I was on the Riders.
Yeah.
I was laying the points with the Riders. I just thought there's something about Harris and their schedule and being in the West. I don't know if this Davis Alexander's, selling me something, but I'm buying into the hype of the health and Alexander, and when he plays, he doesn't lose. I'm going to take the points. Philpott to get into the end zone. That's paying good plus money. Al's with the points. Philpott to score a touchdown. That's your parlay for the Grey Cup.
Montreal now.
Montreal taking the points. I'm taking the points. It doesn't hurt that your boy, your Partsy, likes the Riders. I'm fading Luke Wilson every chance I get.
It's true.
That's the reality. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlay is available for the Grey Cup on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right, the slots are calling our names, right? We're going to go hit some slots.
Are they called VLTs?
I have no idea what they're called.
A buddy of mine texted me. He said, they're not called slots. They're called VLT.
Well, everywhere else in the world, there's slots. In Vegas, it's slots.
I've only known it as a slot machine.
Slot machine.
You lose money
Video
with it.
lottery machine. I don't know what it is.
I'm not overly technical when it comes to gambling.
They're called VLTs, and apparently there's some over there. We got to go.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Well, anyway, we love the peg, man. Let's finish it off with a let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Let's go Jets.
Let's go Jets. What a scene it's been. We want to thank everyone at Boston Pizza for the hospitality. It's just been incredible to be out here. Everyone in Winnipeg who have treated us like
it's our second home.
Like family.
Like locals, exactly. We couldn't thank everyone enough for all the hospitality, all the help, everyone behind the scenes.
Yeah, been
and
fun.
What did Eddie Olchuk say? We're coming back to Winnipeg.
Coming back.
We're coming back. We're bringing the cup back to Winnipeg.
It feels like home. It feels like home.
Yes, it does. So thanks to everyone here. We appreciate it greatly. Let's have ourselves a great cup.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be awesome on TSN, CTV, TSN Radio, of course online, anywhere you find it. It's go time this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend. All right. Overdrive chant. All right. We can live with that, too. We didn't ask for it, but we can live with it. We can live with it. All right, we're out of here. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, up on YouTube, live on TSN's YouTube channel. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your weekends. We're back Monday at
House Hunting in Winnipeg, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.